listening to Top of the Pops from the BBC World Service. My pleasure now to welcome James Fox into the studio. Hello.
And very nice to be here. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much for asking. You go from kind of one TV extravaganza to the other, don't you?
That's right, Pop Idol next year for me. Hat-trick.
Of course, you were in the BBC's Fame Academy.
I was indeed.
How many did you get down to?
The last 5.
Not bad at all.
It was respectable. I wanted to get in the last. Part of me thought, as long as you get in these programmes, the last 5 seem to get something from it. So that was my aim. So it was good.
Not satisfied, however, with Fame Academy.
Not so.
You've now decided. Well, you're our UK entry for the Eurovision Song Contest. Worldwide, over 10 billion people at least, something in that region. Anyway, a lot.
There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I know. How did you end up doing this? Tell us the story.
I lost a bet. No, I'm joking. It was. Sorry, erase that.
What happened?
It was the BBC and Sony, the record company involved in Eurovision, that approached my management at the start of the year and said we'd sent them a sort of demo of my songs. We were looking, sort of touting for a deal for a few months, and they said, "Oh, we like your stuff. And we've got this Eurovision song that's very similar, so it might be a good idea if you did that. You know what I mean? We could launch your stuff on the back of it because it's a similar sort of sound." So I thought, all right, slightly sceptical, but I went for it in the end.
Tell me the truth. When they said to you, Eurovision,
I hung up and said no.
Because you're young and funky, and I know from watching the Fame Academy, because I watched it a lot. Well, I can see the Fame Academy from my house, you see. So I used
really?
to,
Are you that? Oh, right.
Blue boxer shorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and from the Fame Academy, we kind of got the idea that you take your music seriously, that you write and you play the guitar, and there's a certain sort of image that the Eurovision has in the UK, which isn't, I have to say, an image that is represented in the rest of the world.
No,
certainly.
you're right.
But in the UK, I mean, last year as well, bless them, our entry couldn't do any worse. They got nil point. Mm-hmm. How do you take that on board, the pressure, and also trying to change the sort of image of it round? Because that's what they're hoping, I guess.
Well, that was the whole reason why I got involved, really, because I think the phone call, they said Eurovision. They didn't even finish it off, and I was out of there. I'd hung up. But it was a case of, after last year, it could go either way, really. It couldn't get any worse. So they had to sort of, we're going to revamp it, put it on like the selection show on a Saturday night, turn it into like a Fame Academy or something like that. Get the whole country behind it. Obviously, they had industry support of Sony, and you don't get a Sony record deal every day of the week. So I didn't take a lot of convincing, really. And then you got to think, well, there's always going to be that sort of cheesy element to Eurovision. But if your own stuff, Sony have got belief in me long term. So if your own stuff stands up after that, then it's you're as good as your own stuff after that. So I'm confident in that. You know what I mean? So
what do you think we can learn from last year? Last year's performance.
To definitely have a sound check and check the monitors are working.
It wasn't the monitors; they were rubbish, and you know it.
Do you know what? I've done gigs with them since, and they actually ain't that bad.
Really? You're a nice man.
No, they're actually really good. But I mean, I think it's a lot of pressure. I mean, I don't know how long they've been doing it for, but I mean, they're relatively new together. I mean, that's a big.
Sure.
I've been gigging for a while, but I mean, that's a hell of a gig to take on, isn't it?
So, well, I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, you're following in the footsteps of ABBA. Mm-hmm. ABBA, Cliff Richard, Lulu, Celine Dion.
That's just with fashion alone.
Sandy Shaw, Johnny Logan.
Hey, big fan.
You know what I mean? Johnny Logan. I know, I've seen your collection of Johnny Logan CDs, as long as me arm. How do you feel about, ABBA, that's a hard shoe to fill.
It is, but I mean, it used to be like, I think it used to be taken a lot more. So we're talking about taking it seriously. The rest of Europe, like you said, the viewing figures in Europe are bigger than any. This is like the major event of the year. So we don't take it seriously. Partly, I think, because we don't win it very often.
Yes.
I think as soon as we do win it, we're like, oh, of course, Katrina Waves. Yeah, we all credible Eurovision. And the year after, it's back to where it was again.
Yeah.
Because we stooped in musical heritage compared to a lot of maybe in other European countries. We've been doing it a lot longer, so we technically feel that we should be winning these things.
I agree. I think that's a good point, actually.
So we've gone back. You took those acts from the 70s and things like that. That's when it was taken a lot more seriously. But recently, you won't. All those names you mentioned, they're probably all going back a bit, aren't they?
Yeah, they are indeed. Celine Dion won't like you for saying that, but she is just getting on.
She got enough money, don't worry.
So listen, in fact, one of the last times that we did win it was with Bucks Fizz, who whipped their skirts off.
You've seen my promo video, haven't you?
Well, you know what I mean. Come on, have you got a trick up your sleeve?
But do you know what we were? Oh dear, here we go. Part of me thought, let's look at the last 50 years of Eurovision and put every gimmick into my act. Let's just clean up. But I think I think the beauty of this one is it's just like a singer-songwriter song. It's a nice sort of, you strip it down to a guitar. It's like a song. Mm-hmm. It's like a singer's song. I mean, it's like a Bob Dylan or something like that. You know, it's like the beauty of it. It's in its sort of neat little pattern. It doesn't need all the glitz and glam. Obviously, we've got to conform to certain things with Eurovision. It'll be backing singers and
Sure.
But we're going to leave the gimmicks, I think, and strip it down to what it is. Yes, it's actually, it's a song contest. So if it's judging its merit, then I mean, hopefully we got a chance.
And are your family back home and friends going to be having a Eurovision party?
They've disowned me ever since I mentioned it. In fact, my mum's coming. She's coming.
Oh, brilliant.
A few of my mates are coming, so it should be fun, yeah.
Well, I was going to say as well, because you did Top of the Pops recently as well. I saw you on the telly. That must have been a real highlight for you.
To be honest, the whole year, ever since the Fame Academy audition, has been surreal, because I've been doing it for so long, being like a guitarist and piano player for other acts. Mm-hmm. I always thought I'm only going to see this from the back seat, so it's been crazy. I mean, I'm glad I did all that. It's you can do it all in a bit sort of tongue in cheek, and I'm glad I've seen a lot of it. From the back seat, because it's mad. It's been surreal.
Was that a real help? I think that must have been a help for you when you were sort of receiving the barrage of criticism that you got from the Fame Academy judges.
Yes.
He needs to chill out sometimes, that Richard, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, he just took an instant dislike to me. I mean, I've done gigs in front of 3,000 squaddies, so having Richard Park, saying a few bad things about it, he doesn't even touch the sides, really. Skin like a rhino.
Oh, right, okay, cool. Well, that's good to hear as well. And talking just before, your pals in Fame Academy, Alistair Griffin, mm-hmm. You are flatmates with him.
I am indeed.
He came into this show, he didn't tell us that.
I'm his cleaner, that's why.
Oh, that's probably why. Is he a messy? Is he a messy
ridiculous
kid? Really?
Yeah. He's I wouldn't normally make a point of it, but his bedroom's open once, and we had friends and family around, and I had to say it was, that's where we keep all the junk, that's like the storeroom, because it looks like we've been burgled in there, man.
That's outrageous.
It's awful.
Talking about pals, Kevin from Liberty X.
Kevin's him, and Tony as well, yeah.
So how does that go back pre-Fame Academy?
It does. This was my boy band era. Back I was in a thank you, yes. We did a summer season, 6 months in Blackpool.
Wicked.
About 4 or 5 years ago. That's when I met Kev. And obviously I've got the same management as Liberty X now, so he put me forward for that. And yeah, Kev's good now.
How have they kind of supported you along the way? Have they been good friends?
I played guitar for them. I've been like session guitar for them for the last few years, so I've managed to see all these gigs, travel the world with them, and done I've supported them on their tour. So I mean, they've been great. Apart from good friends, they really are. All the band, to be honest. I've got to see a lot of the industry they wouldn't have had a chance to see. So.
Would you say that you're a persistent guy?
I'm just going to say that is, stubborn, persistent. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people would have retired 5 years ago, I guess, but nah. You washed up at 23 in this business.
Well, all due respect to you, mate, you've kept going, and, it's finally happening, isn't it?
Thank you, yeah, well, looks all right at the moment.
So listen, are we going to win Eurovision?
I don't know, the bookies got me 3-1.
That's brilliant.
I know, but I think it's myself, Sweden and Belgium are the favourites. So,
oh, really?
So we're talking.
Well, I've not heard the Swedish entry or the Belgium entry.
I was sabotaged them. I got a week out there.
Yeah, well, exactly, loads of time, and you're clearly the best looking out of the lot of them as well.
It's very badly lit in here.
Yeah, actually, where are you, James? Where are you?
Exactly.
I can't see you anywhere. Listen, thank you very much for coming in.
Pleasure,
the best of luck with Eurovision. Seriously, we'll be having a few tinnies back at our place.
Good stuff.
So hold on, and yeah, exactly, you will be as well. We'll see you in the corner like we do backstage, drinking champagne.
I'm looking forward to that bit more than anything.
Exactly, really. That will be very exciting. It's released on the 19th of April.
It is,
and do us the great honour of just introducing it for us here on Top of the Pops.
This is my new single, James Fox, Hold On To Our Love.